Okay, so when someone says art, what's the first thing that comes to your mind? Paintings? Maybe sculptures? But here's the thing, art shows up everywhere in psychology, in how we study people, in how we help them heal, and in how we understand why humans do what they do. So today we're going to break that down. Four ways art actually connects to our psychology course. And trust me, once you see it, you can't unsee it. Let's start with perception. Did you know the way you see art actually tells us something about the brain? There's this concept in psychology called Gestalt principles. The idea that our minds naturally organize what we see into patterns. We group things, we find shapes in clouds, we see faces in random objects. And then there's color psychology. Red raises your heart rate, blue calms you down, yellow signals energy. Brands, hospitals, schools, they all use this. Even abstract art has been used in studies to measure emotional response. Researchers show people different paintings and track their reactions. And those reactions reveal things about personality, mood, and even trauma. So the next time you look at a painting and feel something, that feeling is data. Now, this might sound crazy at first, but psychologists actually use art as a tool to assess the mind. You've probably heard of the Rorschach ink blot test. Those symmetrical ink blobs where the therapist asks, "What do you see?" The idea is that what you project onto an ambiguous image reveals your unconscious thoughts, fears, or emotional state. Then there's the thematic apperception test, or TAT. You're shown a drawing of a scene and asked you to tell a story about it. The story you create, it reflects your inner world, your motivations, or your conflicts. There's also human figure drawing, often used with children, wherein a child draws a person and the psychologist analyzes things like the size, placement, details, and facial expression of the figure. These are real, recognized tools in clinical and developmental psychology. Art isn't just being made here, it's being read. Now let's talk about healing. Art therapy is a legitimate, licensed mental health profession. It uses creative expression like drawing, painting, collage, even music and movement as a way to process emotions that are hard to put into words. For trauma survivors, children, people with depression or anxiety, art therapy gives them a safe, nonverbal outlet. In the Philippines, this is actually gaining ground in school counseling and mental health advocacy spaces. And it's not just visual art. Music therapy, like what is being offered here in St. Paul University, Manila, uses rhythm and melody to regulate emotion. Dance movement therapy uses the body, and bibliotherapy uses stories and poetry. So art isn't just a self-expression, it is a clinical intervention. Last but not the least, humans have always used art to communicate what logic can't fully capture. In psychology, we talk a lot about nonverbal communication, like body language, facial expressions, and the tone of our voice. Art is basically nonverbal communication on a larger scale. Art is how humans say, "This is who I am, this is what I feel, and this is what I've been through." And understanding that, that's psychology. So to recap, Art shows up in how we perceive the world around us. It shows up in how psychologists assess the mind. It is used to help people heal, and it is one of the most powerful ways humans communicate and express identity. Next time, when someone says they're not really into art, you can just say, actually, you already are. You just didn't know it had a name. Thank you for watching, and I hope you learn more about art and psychology today. Thank you.